Well, for us as a trust, the legacy of Jeffrey is primary, and so much of his architecture was about the relationship between the environment, about nature, about site. Even in the tightest urban space, he thought very carefully about nurturing what he would say the human soul, that it was necessary to be able to see the sky, to be able to see trees, to be able to see what really provides succor for all of us.
Today, if you look at Sri Lankan architecture, I mean, you don't think twice before seeing a courtyard in a house. And, you'll find there's light coming into the middle of a house. There's always a tree at the end of a vista. Now, that's something that us architects in Sri Lanka think with now. We don't consider making architecture in any other way. If you look at the work of most young architects, you'll find that that's how they think. Now, when Jeffrey started thinking like this in 1960, it was a very, very different world. When architecture was an object which you made to be looked at, mostly from outside, he turned it the other way and sort of said, no, architecture is something that you walk through and is shelter from which you might connect with the outside.
It also is against sort of all postmodern and modernist thinking, which was kind of to push aside the narrative.
Yes.
And he reinserted narrative back into that, which was so unfashionable, but kind of the one thing that is so crucial and understandable and generous and democratic.
So that's where I think, I mean, even as late as 1995, towards the last few years of his life, if you look at the Anantara Kalusara today, there is no architectural idea like that has been built. So in many, many ways, I think he's still not just relevant, he's still contemporary. He's still out there coming up with new ideas about what's going on. We've now taken on this particular property where there are 4 rooms. People can live in it, use it for a party, use the music room for a recital. So you begin to understand how it is to live in a space that has this kind of engagement. And we have Lulugaga, which is Jeffrey's garden. We have number 2, which is the Gallery Cafe today, his office, which is reused as a wonderful restaurant. Again, the building is being used. It's to be engaged with, it's to be lived in, it's to actually, as Sonia said, go to these places if you wanted to sort of have respite from this world that you had just described, the world that's alienating us from each other and from the earth and the natural environment that we are supposed to be a part of.